because you do have power in your life. You get to have say. You get to have power. You are powerful. Like, do you have any idea how much power you have? Because right now you're giving it all away. And I know that because I was giving it all away. And I'm constantly noticing every single day instances where once again, oh, there it went. I just gave my power away again. Ah, nope. Reel it back in. I want that power back. How do I fix that every day? How do I take back my power? Let's take it back, guys. Let's take our power back. We deserve to take our power back.
There are times when life just brings you down, 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 down to the ground. And it's hard when you can't see the light, 'cause things don't look so bright. So now it's time to reframe and retrain your brain. It's time to look for the good. You know that you should. Why don't you join me? 'Cause I'm seeking sunshine, I'm seeking sunshine, I'm seeking sunshine. Oh, 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 I'm seeking sunshine, I'm seeking sunshine, I'm seeking sunshine, I'm seeking sunshine.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Seeking Sunshine podcast. Today we are going to shake it up a little bit because I feel like it's time. So, before we get into what I want to talk about today, I will warn you that I am recording this episode on the second to last day before summer break, and that means that my kids are home and they are upstairs and they are so very loud. They're watching TV, they're yelling at each other, they are banging around, and despite my very best efforts, you're probably going to hear them because you know what? This is life. um, I there's part of me that wishes everything was perfect and that this was just like clouds and like magical mystical music and everything was like saintly and perfect. No, this is like you're gonna hear screaming, you might hear a knockdown drag out like brawl going on upstairs. Like this is a real life happening right here in this moment. This is what reality looks like at the Garrison house. This is what it looks like to have 3 kids and a podcast. Here we are, y'all. This is it. So as I was getting ready for today's podcast, I was going through all of the recorded interviews that I have. I have a whole bunch. I recorded them back in January and February. I have like tons, guys. Like I have enough that I could just sail and coast through the whole rest of this year, and everything would be peachy. But the thing is, I'm not the same person that I was January and February. And those interviews are amazing. Like they really are. They're so good. But as I think I went through 3 or 4 of them this morning, and I just wasn't feeling it. I really wasn't. I've been really thinking about how I want, like the direction that I want this podcast to go in, and really honing in on what message here is, and like just honestly the transformation that I want to help you guys have, like, because that's the whole point of this show. Seeking Sunshine isn't just about like let's hear people's stories, let's hear how they change. No, I want to help you change. I want to help you have a transformation. And I've just been feeling like maybe we could do more here. Maybe there's something bigger that I can do for you to help you change your mindset. And so I do want to keep having interviews, and I am sure I will air those interviews at some point. But right now, I felt like I needed to talk to you from my heart. And so today's episode is going to be a solo episode right from my soul to yours. And I hope that what I really want to say to you comes through, because it is ready to burst out of me. I feel like this show it's on the cusp of greatness, guys. There is such a core of goodness here that it's going to change the world. It is so important, this message. And so what I'm going to do is I want to start with one of the things I've always wanted to do that I've really been working on a lot lately is that I want to be on stages. I want to speak on stage. And so what I've been doing to prepare for that is I joined Toastmasters and I gave my first speech a couple weeks ago, and it was so great, guys. I loved it. It lit my whole freaking soul on fire to stand in front of people. And what's really amazing about that is that the last time that I really stood on stage and spoke in front of people was when I kind of have done it at church a lot. It's not like I've not ever spoken on stage, but I was in a speaking class in college, and I wrote every word I was going to say down, and I memorized it all. And it was so nervous speaking in front of these 15, 20 people. And it was so rote and boring. And I don't know if you could say it was a failure, but I counted it as a failure because I didn't win. There was this class competition, and the people who won got to go to the bigger school competition. And so since I didn't win the class competition, I counted it as a loss, which, looking back, I'm like, okay, that's not exactly what counts as a loss, right? But whatever. I counted it as I must suck at this, whatever. But I've grown so much since then. I've grown so much. And so this speech that I prepared, it was only a 4 to 6 minute speech. But instead of writing out every single word, I just wrote out bullet points. So I want to go over the things that I spoke about in that, because it was. And so I started my speech out like this. And I'm sort of going to tell you guys an extended version, because I only had 4 to 6 minutes to do that speech. And this is my podcast, and I can take as long as I want to tell you guys what I wanted to say in that speech. So dang it, I'm going to do it. My life has not gone as planned. And you guys probably know that, because hopefully you've been following this for a while. But if you are brand new to me, let me sum it up for you. Hi, I'm Karaleigh, and my life is insane. Hello. I am 33 years old. I have 3 special needs kids. 2 have high functioning autism. One of them is severely autistic and semi-verbal, and he has type 1 diabetes. And for the last decade, my husband has been disabled. Yeah, so my life's crazy pants. It's been ridiculous. So when I went into this life, I was really expecting I don't know, a nice straight line. It just sort of went up nice and easy. And instead I got this big, bumpy, crazy mishmash thing. It sort of looks like a roller coaster, but a really crazy one. That's what I ended up with. Except for I feel there were a lot less ups and a lot more downs. Like, I don't know how you can have extra dips without extra rises, but somehow that's the version I got. That's my life in a nutshell for you. It's been bonkers. It's been crazy. Um, Thankfully, lately it's been, except for like, I don't, whatever. We'll just, I won't even go there. My life's been crazy, right? I expected it to be sunshine and rainbows. I wanted it to be sunshine and rainbows. Did you? Did you want your life to be sunshine and rainbows? Did you go to college? Did you graduate high school and you were like, okay, great, y'all. I'm gonna get this degree. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna do exactly what I want. I'm gonna get the job that I want. I'm gonna get married and have kids, and they're gonna do what I tell them to do, and they're gonna be so beautiful. And my kids are gorgeous, guys. Like, don't get me wrong, but they're gonna do exactly what they are told, and it's just gonna be so great, y'all. And I'm just gonna have this beautiful picture perfect life, the one that they painted for us. They were like, okay, do what you're told. And for me, I mean, I grew up super religious, so it was like, do all the things you're supposed to. I'm very religious. I grew up in the LDS church. I still am very strongly religious. So it was like, go get married in the temple, go do all things, right? And it was like, I did that. I did that. I, met and married a returned missionary. We got married in the temple. We did all the things we were supposed to do. And then within 3 years of our marriage, he became disabled. And it wasn't like this sudden out of the, like, it wasn't like a car accident. It wasn't just like, bam, he's disabled. It came on slowly. He has a genetic chromosomal defect called familial episodic ataxia, and it slowly came on. And at first, we didn't really understand what these symptoms meant, and we just sort of dealt with it, the best you can. And the symptoms increased, and it started out with him having panic attacks. He worked as a cashier at the front end at the grocery store, and he would be curled up in a ball, having back spasms, panic attacks. My big, huge, grown husband, he was like 25 years old. He couldn't handle his cashier job because it was too much for him. And it was just one thing after the other, like symptom after symptom after symptom. And he ended up getting diagnosed with a lot of other things too. Chronic debilitating PTSD and anxiety, and he's now self-diagnosed with autism, which helped him make a lot of sense out of his life. A lot of different things, that sort of added up over time. But like, that was this big, huge dip in our roller coaster that we really didn't expect. And as at the same time that we were going through this craziness, we were having kids. I mean, we had our first kid a year and a half into our marriage because that's kind of what we were told to do. Well, okay, yes, it's what we were told to do. And also, I got married at 18. Like, we were like, bad. Like, met and married at 18. We met and married. It was 7 weeks. We met and married within 7 weeks. Met in October, and we were married in November because I just knew. Like, okay, and that's a whole other story, and it's a wild one, and it's hilarious and crazy and all of the things. So many emotions in that story, and I won't get into it. But so much of a roller coaster, really, is my journey. And we had our daughter, and she was perfect and beautiful and amazing. And then, bam, suddenly, surprise, pregnant with number 2. Aurora was like, what, 6 months old when I got pregnant with Josh. They're only 14 months apart. And then he was born, and she was old. She was like 2.5 when we started down this whole autism journey. She was diagnosed at 3. And when she was diagnosed, it was really obvious that Joshua must also be on the spectrum, because he was only 14 months younger, so he was like 18 months old, and he wasn't talking at all. Like, he was almost 2, and he had nothing. He wasn't even meeting like basic milestones at this point. And my husband's health was like declining and declining and declining, and like all within 1 year, because that was one of our, we had 2 really bad years. That was 2013, and that was the year that both of them were well, Joshua was diagnosed, I'm sorry, I'm getting mixed up, sorry, Aurora was diagnosed in 2013. Joshua wasn't diagnosed until 2014, but that was also the year that my husband Jacob's health just kind of came crashing down, and he became addicted to opioids, and he had been doing really well at his job, and then when his health declined and that addiction skyrocketed because his pain was so severe, it all just came crashing down. And there goes that roller coaster crash. And so my whole point with telling you all this, and the whole point of the talk, is that in the midst of all this chaos, in the midst of all this, here's little old me, super young, trying to figure out how to hold my family together and not knowing how to do it. Because, we are living in poverty, like super poverty, so much poverty. Obviously, none of the things that I want like, I dreamed of singing, I dreamed of, speaking and doing other things. None of that's happening. I mean, gosh, when you're living in survival mode, your dreams have gone out the window ages ago, because you're just trying to live. And so all those things that light you up, that give you the fuel to keep going, you don't really have the luxury to keep doing those, because you're just trying to get by day by day. And so I heard this thing, and it was that we control our own reality. And of course, my initial reaction to that was like, what? We control our own reality? That's crazy. There is no way that I'm taking responsibility for this crap show that I am a part of. No, thank you. I'm going to pass on that one. This chaos cannot possibly be my doing. I am so innocent here. And that got really stuck in my head, because, when you're super resistant to an idea, it tends to stick with you. Because when you're really, really resistant to something, there's usually a reason. There's usually a reason when you can't get something out of your head. And so I kept coming back to this idea, and there was a huge flaw in it. And that was that if this idea wasn't true, which I had already declared it to be completely false, if this idea wasn't true, then that left me a powerless victim. That left me a powerless victim in my own life. And now I will tell you that I have always been a really strong person. When I was born, they said I had a fire in my eyes, and dang it if that ain't the truth. I am strong-willed, I am determined, and I had a real big problem with just sitting back and accepting that I was a powerless victim in my own life. That didn't sit well with me at all. And so then I was stuck with this cognitive dissonance, these two sides of like, well, wait a minute. If it is true, then I'm responsible for this. I'm responsible for this reality that I'm living in that's awful. This hell that I'm living in that I can't bear to be in is either my fault or I'm a powerless victim and I'm just stuck here. And I stewed on that. I stewed on that for a good long time because I couldn't accept either one as truth. They both sucked, and I didn't want either one of them to be true. And so I had to figure it out. But then I did. I did figure it out. And you want to know what I figured out? I figured out that I do have power in my life. In this crazy way, I actually do have power in my own life. And now I don't have power over other people. I don't have power over their health. I don't have power over what they do or what they say or even what they do to me. But what I do have power over is my perspective. And what I had been invalidating the entire time was the power of my perspective. Oh my gosh. When I started realizing how powerful my perspective is, that changed my entire life. The power of my perspective cannot be underestimated. That is where your power lies. You can change your entire life by changing your perspective. And let me show you how this works in action because my husband was home. I'm sorry, there's hair in my eyes. My husband was home for most of a decade, as in he couldn't work for most of a decade. And it wasn't pretty. I mean, we had an entire year where he was in and out of the hospital. Like, he was admitted to the hospital once a month for a whole year for something different. Like, a different thing every month. Like, one month it was because he had a hemiplegic migraine, and I think this was 2015. I think. 1 month it was for asthma, where they almost killed him, and they didn't believe him, and it's his own story. It was a nightmare. He had surgery one of those months on his back. It was such a nightmare. And this is all while I've got a 1-year-old at home because Benjamin was born in 2014. And this is not even part of my story, but Benjamin was the hardest 1-year-old you have ever met in your entire life. Like, I know it's not part of the story, but I'm going to make it part of the story. Benjamin was the most difficult 1-year-old you could even fathom. Okay? And not in like a medical way, in a behavioral way. I'm just gonna. Plus I had 2 autistic toddlers. It was just, it was so. Oh, and my husband couldn't work, so we were so broke, and I was trying to do college online, and life was so. And I'm going to say my favorite quote here because I think I say it in every episode, and it's just becoming, it's going to be like my own personal running joke here. People make bad choices when they're mad or scared or stressed. It's in a song in Frozen. People make bad choices if they're mad or scared or stressed. Throw a little love there. Okay, it's like the Trolls sing it in their song. And I'm still wondering if I can say that in like a speech on stage, or if Disney will be like, meh. I don't know. I need to find that out. Somebody who knows legal stuff needs to tell me if like I can quote Disney, or they'll get mad at me because I know Disney's got all sorts of rules. But anyway, people make bad choices when they're mad or scared or stressed. And why I'm quoting that is because my husband, in his disabled state, made a lot of bad choices. And what I mean by that was he was not very nice to me. Like, really. Our marriage almost didn't make it through that year because when you're in a lot of pain, you don't see clearly. You don't see the people in your life clearly, and you will do just about anything to get out of pain. And that's what happened. So he was really struggling, and he took that out on the people he loved, and it made life harder for all of us. And I had a point. Okay, I'm gonna get back to my point. My point is, life was really hard, and I was battling. I swear to you, I was so much more concise when I only had 4 to 6 minutes, which is why they give you a time limit to this on stage. And then when I go on my podcast and I ramble, you just get so much more information that maybe you didn't want. But here we are anyway. That's why. Hello, this is my podcast. Welcome to the inner workings of Karaleigh's brain. Anyways, so I'm trying to get back to my point here. I'm trying to battle out, this internal conflict, right? And figure out, am I a powerless victim? Do I have power? And what I figured out was that I do have power over my perspective. Okay. And my perspective is that I do have power and I can choose to see the blessings. And I should tell you that, like, I didn't know this at the time. This came in hindsight, y'all. This came in hindsight. Hindsight's 2020, and I don't know how I got there. We can go into it on another time of like how I actually got through that time. I think it was creativity. I like did a lot of creative things, and I made it through somehow. But when I look back on it, that's the whole point of this story, is when I look back on it, and my husband too, when he looks back on it, it's like such a beautiful transformation. When we look back on it, we can see the beauty and the blessing of his time being home disabled. Because FYI, he's actually working now. He's doing so much better, and I'm forever grateful that I did stay with him and that we did work on our marriage, and that everything like worked so great, because like our marriage is better than ever now. Like, we're doing really great now. He is so kind and sweet and loving now that he's not in so much pain, and he is forever trying to make up for the person that he was when he was in pain. And he really is like such a beautiful person, just so that you know that. But the transformation that happened for me was realizing the blessing, the gift, the beauty that existed during that time that he was home and disabled. The gift it was that my husband was with me raising our kids together, because I actually could not have done it by myself. Like, he stayed home with Benjamin so that I could take our other 2 kids to like their IEP meetings and to their therapies, and like the constant things I had to do for the other 2. Like, it was craziness. And I was able to go do that without Benjamin. And like, now that he's working, I am seeing that so clearly. Mostly because it's really hard. Mostly because I'm like, wait a minute. Even though we were super poor, I a little bit miss having my second pair of hands there with me all the time. I actually super miss having my best friend next to me all the time, home with me. Like, you hear all these stories of families of like the dad just worked all the time and was never home, and it's like he was with me by my side. And like, and it's like dads who don't know how hard moms work, he was never like that because he knew how hard I worked. He knows how hard our kids are to raise. He knows. He does not take me for granted. My husband comes home and rubs my feet because that's how he shows me he loves me. Because he knows how hard I work as a mom. And he knows how hard our kids are. Because he was right by my side for a decade. He changed diapers. He did the bottle feedings because I actually couldn't breastfeed. I had no breast milk. It's a whole other story. I have so many stories, guys. He was right there by my side through all of it. And in the moment, I took it for granted so much because there was a lot about it that was hard. But now that I've had this transformation, that I flipped the dang script, and that I can see and I've chosen to change my perspective and to see how freaking beautiful that time of life was, I have chosen to change the reality of what that time was. I changed it. That time used to be the worst part of my life. And now I can look back on it with rose-colored glasses because I'll put them on myself. And I can see where the sunshine is in that. And because I've now practiced doing that on the hardest parts of my life, it is so much easier to do that on the now parts of my life. It's so much easier to do that on the future parts of my life. And now my husband and I, like, he will ask me, what am I grateful for in this exact moment? What am I grateful for in the hard thing that just happened 10 minutes ago? Like this morning, I don't know if you can see the sweat that's like dripping down from me, which if you're just listening to the audio, I'm actually filming this one, by the way, because like I'm trying to be better at this podcasting thing and like actually keep the film footage of this. So you might see some of this filmed, and like literally over the last 30-40 minutes I just redid all this. I put a shelf up. Okay, I actually moved over the notes. They were there, but I moved them while I was on the phone with freaking Medicaid for the gajillionth time, and just being so frustrated with that. I could just sob at how frustrated, like, if I could have $1 for the amount of times I have cried over Medicaid, I would be a rich woman. Ugh. Which, I don't know. That's a thing. It really is a thing. And for all of those of you who have cried over welfare, I just feel you. I just want you to know that I feel you so much. This particular instance is for Joshua's disability Medicaid, which he is interrupting me right now. Hello, Josh. Josh, do you want to be on my podcast? Yeah? Can you say hi?
Peaks Wednesday.
Provo Peaks Wednesday? No, Provo Peaks is all gone. Provo Peaks is all done. Where are you going to go to school?
New Centennial.
New Centennial, yeah, on Wednesday.
Shut up.
What? No.
Grandma, shut up.
No.
Grandma, shut up.
Here. All right, go sit down. All right, I gave him my phone. Josh's new favorite. It's not that new. It's been going on a long time. Josh likes to say that set of words because it gets him lots of attention. And we are trying to ignore it so that he stops saying it. But certain members of our family, Benjamin, for example, has a really hard time ignoring it. And so Josh gets lots of attention for saying that and other high attention words. So there's Josh. If you have not met Josh before, there's Josh. That's what I mean when I say semi-verbal, is that you probably knew exactly what he said, but he didn't exactly communicate efficiently. So, I'm trying to remember where I was. So the transformation that I've gone through in just changing from what I used to view as reality. I used to think like, well, this is just reality, right? Reality is my life is hard. Well, actually, that is just an opinion. And I'm just learning that and integrating it into myself and into the way that I think has been so life changing. It's really been phenomenal. And that's what I want to help you guys with. That's what I want to bring more of to this podcast. It's like, how do I help you change the way you think about your life? So that the next time you go, oh, this sucks, or oh, this is so hard, you can go, wait a minute. That's just a perspective. And I can change my perspective. What are some options? What are some possible ways that I might be able to change my perspective? And why would you want to do that? That's my question for you. Why would you want to change your perspective? I can give you one word. That is joy. Do you want to be happier? Do you want to have more joy in your life? Because, man, I do. And I did. And I was so tired of feeling like crap all the time, of feeling like I was so stuck in this life. Like there was nothing that I could do, feeling so powerless in this situation that I had just been handed. That is the worst feeling in the world. The feeling of powerlessness. I feel like nothing compares to that. I feel like it's on par with depression. There's nowhere to go from there. There's no worse place to be in. I want to help you get out of that place. And I don't care why you're there. I don't care if it's because you have special needs kids, where it's like you love them and yet you feel like you're trapped. Because I have felt like that. I have felt like this isn't what I bargained for. Like, I didn't sign up for this. And just to drive the point home, I'm going to leave that in this episode. Because Josh was now on my phone on the other side of my desk. So I'm just going to leave that in here because that's how I do most of my meetings over the summer, is that Josh is on my phone on the other side of my desk. And he's usually looking up all sorts of fun things that I have to clear out from my phone. But it's like, I know those feelings of like, this is not what I bargained for. This feels super unfair. And I don't feel like I have any power or control in my life. And I want to feel like I get some say here. I want to give you the feeling of power back. Because you do have power in your life. You get to have say. You get to have power. You are powerful. Like, do you have any idea how much power you have? Because right now you're giving it all away. And I know that because I was giving it all away. And I'm constantly noticing every single day instances where once again, oh, there it went. I just gave my power away again. Ah, nope. Reel it back in. I want that power back. How do I fix that? Every day. How do I take back my power? Let's take it back, guys. Let's take our power back. We deserve to take our power back. We deserve to know how powerful we are and why, so that we can show those around us, especially our kids, moms. I'm talking to you, all you moms out there. That's why you need to take your power back so you can show your kids how powerful they are, because they aren't going to know it unless you do it first. You have to lead the way. You gotta show them how it's done. Take your power back so that your kids can know how powerful they are. So that when they grow up and they are housewives and moms, so that when they are employees and they have a boss that treats them like garbage, so they can know where their power is. It's here. It's in your perspective. You had it all along. It can't be taken from you. Do you know that? Your personal power is so much a part of you. It can't be taken from you. But you have to own it. It's up to you. It's up to you to change your perspective. It's up to you to own your power. And you do it moment by moment, thought by thought. So, are you ready? Are you ready to take this journey with me to transform the way that you think? Because that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to do. That's what I want to walk you down this path. It's been so incredible for me. I'm so much happier because of it. Because I'm not a victim anymore. Because screw that. Because I don't want to view my kids as my captors. Because that is no way to live life. And I can't do that. I can't view my kids as a curse anymore. Hey, turn it off. I can't keep viewing my kids as a curse. And, like, I want to tell you that, like, I actually did. I wrote a song for my album that I ended up not putting on my album. And it was called, I went through so many iterations of that song. And at first it was called You Mess Up My Life, was the original name of it. And then I changed it to You Shake Up My Life. And it was supposed to be this, like, honest look at motherhood. And it was like, you are a blessing, you are a curse. It was, like, part of the chorus. And at the time, it was so raw. And it was so true. And it's like, I look at that now and I'm like, I'm not even that person anymore. Because I choose not to be, dang it. I don't want to be. Sorry. I don't. I live with a Josh, y'all. This is my life. I don't want to be that person anymore. And you know what? Let's even back up like 2 whole seconds. I don't I don't want to be the person who apologizes for my own kid on my own podcast. So reverse, unapologize. Unapologize. I don't apologize. This is my podcast and my autistic kid in the background, and he's gonna make noise. Dang it. He can make noises in his own house. Like, it's just how it is. And if it annoys you, then don't listen. Okay? He gets enough crap from his own brother about making noise. He can make noise down here in my room, in my little office down here. He can make noise if he wants to. It's about retraining our brains. And I am working on it right here, live in front of you guys, working on retraining my brain. Retraining the things I say, and like you just saw it. Like, I apologized, and then I was like, wait, no, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I don't want to be that person anymore. That's what I'm here for. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to improve. And yeah, that's what it's all about. It's about finding acceptance of who we are and of who they are, and just like, can we just be ourselves and let each other be who they are? We've been so, it's been so ingrained in us to not be okay with ourselves or those around us. And maybe we can just be done with that. And so that's what I want to challenge you to do, is to find the sunshine. That's what seeking sunshine is. It is flipping the script. And everything you experience, everything in your past that you thought was the worst thing ever. And that includes the really hard stuff. And I don't want to be the person who shies away from the really, really hard stuff, but at the same time, like, I don't want all that negativity. Like, that's the point. It's like, we're transforming that negativity into something gorgeous. And sometimes, like, we really have to sit with our feelings. Like, it really is not about shoving away our feelings. Our feelings are beautiful. Our feelings deserve attention. Even the, quote unquote negative feelings, like, they deserve your attention. And if you can just, like, let them be heard, let them be seen, and just feel them, they will work their way through you and move on. Like, they will move through you and they will move out of your system. They aren't going to stick around forever. You don't have to be afraid of that. You don't have to fear that. That's actually my word for the year, is fearless, and I'm trying so hard to, like, dive into that. Being fearless. So, yeah, that's my episode for the day, guys. I'm ready for so much growth. I'm ready for so much change, and I want you to come with me. So this is my invitation. Join me. Come with me. Bring your friends, and let's flip the script on all the negative crap, and let's find the sunshine in it, because we deserve to be happy. I deserve to be happy. Don't you? Because I think you freaking deserve to be happy. It's about dang time that you were happy. I'm so sure of it. I'm so sure of it. And I hope that you can feel that. It's time. It's time for you to be happy. It's time for you to find some flippin' joy in your life. And I don't care what you have going on. Because, I mean, gosh, my life is so chaos. I mean, I was sobbing walking out of Costco on Saturday. So, when I tell you that you can find joy no matter how insane your life is, please believe me when I tell you that I know from experience what insanity and chaos really look like. I really do. I really, really do. Okay, I really do. I have the experience to back it up. So I hope that you have an amazing day, and I hope that you can join me on this path and start noticing, because the first step is to notice. First step is to notice. Start noticing little ways in which you are giving away your power. Take it right back. Take it right back. Even if it's like out loud to somebody and you sound crazy pants, I don't care. I don't care. Just be like, oh, wait, no, I take my apology back. I actually don't apologize. Because I don't. I stand in my power. And I don't want to be apologetic all the time anymore. You know, or saying like, oh, this is really hard. No, wait. I don't want it to be hard. What's a better way to say that? And you can say that out loud and it's okay. Say it out loud. Because I have said too many times that my kids are really hard. My kids are complicated. But they are a learning experience. And I'm going to find a better way to say it. My kids are beautiful. My kids have helped me grow. And I am going to find a better way to say it. My kids have definitely inspired me. That is a much better way to say it. Find a better feeling thought, as Abraham Hicks says. Just, you can do it. Find something better. Even if you have to correct yourself out loud, go for it. Do it. Find the sunshine. That's my challenge for you. Have an incredible day and take this with you if you can and share it. That'd be super great. And if there was something in today's episode, because I'm not going to do takeaways, because let's be honest, it's 5 o'clock my time, and we did the laundromat today because our dryer's broken and it's actually completely disassembled in the backyard, and my husband was supposed to fix it yesterday and didn't do it. Anyways, so we spent hours at the laundromat and I'm freaking beat. So I'm not doing takeaways today. I will at some point pull out quotes for social media and everybody else to do all the things I'm supposed to do. But I'm just gonna end the episode here. I'm not gonna do takeaways, but I will leave you with a song, and I hope that you will share this, and it would mean so much to me if you would leave a review and do all the things and support my podcast because you love me. Just do it. You love me. Bye guys, have an amazing day. I will leave you with because I didn't put the ad in here. I didn't put the ad in here. And you know what? I'm not gonna. I'll just do it right now. But the song that I'm gonna leave you with, because I wrote it, is the custom song that I just finished for somebody. She hasn't even heard it yet, actually, because she hasn't been able to meet with me yet. So I write custom songs for people, and it's her podcast theme song, and it turned out so good, guys. And I'm like shaking the desk. I'm so excited for her to hear this song. She hasn't even gotten to hear it yet. It's so good, but I'm gonna play it for you because I'm really excited about how good it turned out. So I'm gonna get all tongue-tied. I write custom songs. If you don't know this, I write custom songs for people. And this is her podcast theme song. It can also write you a custom song for like a baby, like a lullaby, or a wedding, or an anniversary, or a birthday, or your podcast like intro song, or let's see what else. There's like all sorts of things for your event, for your retreat, for your just because you want a life theme song. I don't know if you have like mantras or something, you want that kind of theme song, whatever you want. I write custom songs. They're freaking rad. I love writing custom songs for people. You can go to my website, which I have just updated. It looks pretty awesome. It is KaraleghGarrison.com. And if you want to look at the custom song page, it's KaraleghGarrison.com/custom songs. Probably. If you want to, if you go to that page, there's like all the things, like there's like the process of what it like entails when you get a custom song, like the whole process, and then there's like more information. And then if you want a custom song, there's a link there to book, or you to like book for like a consultation. But you can also just email me at customsongs@KaraleghGarrison.com. And yeah. So anyways, I will leave you with this amazing custom song that I just finished, and I'm super excited to share it with you. Anyways, have an super duper amazing day, guys. Bye.